Can't believe this is happening.
Yeah!
What's up and welcome to another episode of Staff Inspection. Today we're getting back to the C10. Now, unfortunately, there's been a lot of time in between work days for this build, mostly because of things like our shooting schedule and waiting on parts, and went on a couple trips. It's my fault. Anyway, we're getting back to it today. Before I left, we got a good amount of stuff done. The steering is all buttoned up. I got a quick ratio gearbox from CPP, also the proper rag joint for it, and it's so much tighter. The big thing we dealt with last time was getting this Willwood kit installed. Also mounted little things like trans dipstick, also started getting set up to plumb the master cylinder. But since I want my brake lines to be good and safe and look good, I'm actually gonna have our buddy Michael Cox come in and plumb those lines up for me. But I got a new Willwood master cylinder and proportioning valve that we're gonna put in there, so that'll be good. Mounted the coil packs, although I might change it up a little bit. Still waiting on spark plug wires, but I wanna check that before I do that. And plus I wanna clearance this bracket a little bit because it's just right up against it and it doesn't really look very good. My buddy John was kind enough to run the wires for the chassis harness and help me out with that and just make sure that everything's installed properly so we could get these Dakota Digital gauges working right. We've also mounted the engine and trans ECU back there, and yeah, that's about where we're at. So today the game plan is to get the front end back on the truck so we can start putting in the radiator, the fans, we can run the front half of the chassis harness, and also figure out where a few other things are gonna go, like oil catch can, power steering reservoir, other miscellaneous crap, battery. There's a lot to it, so we're gonna get moving. So a day has passed. I don't know if you can tell because I've definitely changed.
Same.
Yeah, you know, John's here. Yeah. Josh is with us tonight as well. Last night, we cut that bracket so we can make clearance. I spray painted it. It's kind of a shitty job, but you know what? Whatever. Now, we didn't put the core support in last night because these are the old bushings for the core support. They look like shit. They are super, yeah, you get it. Anyway, we got new ones. John ran out, picked some up. Thanks, bro.
No problem.
So he was going down to Orange County. So we got the new ones. We're gonna get this bad boy in. We're gonna start making this thing look like a truck again. Hell yeah. This is the first time this thing's been on in months. Front end's back on. It was a hell of a lot easier getting it on than it was getting it off, I'll tell you that. Definitely helps to have a few friends around. Now, John is, I guess, tidying up the wiring already for the headlights and blinkers. I'm gonna let him do his thing, but I think I might play around with test fitting the radiator and then seeing where we're gonna put the tranny cooler and all that stuff. This is one of Holley's LS swap radiators for the C10. You can get it in two sizes too. There's a tall version and a short version. I don't remember which one I actually got because it was so long ago when I ordered all this stuff. Modification of this. Dude, look at that.
There you go.
Get out of here. That's sick.
Nice.
Okay, so I didn't think I was going to be able to use this, but dude, it fits perfectly. Yeah, we have light. We're gonna wrap it up here. It's 1 a.m. I think this is a good place to call it quits for the night. Last night, we got the whole front end assembled, all the sheet metal's back on, lined up about as good as it's gonna get. Taking this front end off seemed kind of like a pain in the ass, but putting it back together was relatively easy. It just took a little bit of shimming to get the body panels right, but I mean, it's not rocket science. Maybe took like 2 hours to put the whole front end back together, if that. So, not bad at all. So I highly recommend just disassembling the whole front end if you're gonna swap the engine and trans, or just pull it out, because I mean, it makes life a hell of a lot easier. Today, we're gonna finish up a few things. I got John coming back here. He's gonna help me finish up the wiring for the front end harness so we can get this all buttoned up, cleaned up. I'm gonna connect a few odds and ends here. I went and bought a Locar shifter shaft assembly for this. So Locar makes a few options. They make this, which I'm gonna need to use because I have a long selector shaft on the 4L80E. They do make a cable kit for if you have a short selector shaft style 4L80E. And that's actually great if you don't have a clear line of sight to that. So let's say if you're working in really tight spaces, you could set it up to just run a cable and you could still run your column shift on it. Obviously, I have the wrong selector shaft for that, but it's not really a big deal because there's so much damn space in this thing that it's basically a clear shot straight down to the shift selector. All right, so you can see here, we got the shifter arm and the rod, the selector rod installed. Now, the tricky part is you wanna like mock all this stuff up while it's a little loose so you can make sure you're getting through all the gears. All right, so shifted through all the way down to 1. Yeah, nice. Does it feel like it wants to jump out at all, or? So there you have it. Let's just make sure your everything's nice and tight, and then move on to the top. So we're running the power cable to the starter, and then we got the other one going to the alternator here. We're trying to keep them as tucked and out of the way as possible so they're not all out and looking janky. These will be tucked up into there. Alright, just getting wrapped up here for the night. We pretty much got the front end wired up with the exception of a few things here, but that'll all be tidied up in no time. But all the power is run up. So power is run to the starter and to the alternator, and everything is, I mean, it's not all totally done. Still gotta, like that's gonna be cleaned up. But we did check it. Front end has lights, so everything's good. After that, it's just plugs, wires, run the power steering, and we can fire this thing up. Oh yeah, let's get to it tomorrow. All right, we're back with the C10. Today, we've got a big goal here. We're gonna try to get this thing fired up so we can hear what kind of noise this 434 cubic inch Texas Speed 4th Gen is making. So, got a couple things to do before we do that. If I have the fittings, I'm gonna plumb the power steering. If not, we're just gonna take the serpentine belt off to fire it. I don't have the plug wires yet because they got delayed shipping. So desperate times call for desperate measures. I need some plug wires. And luckily our knuckle buster is a trusty LS. So I'm just gonna snag these from here just for, oh yeah. They won't mind. It's that time. So, we're gonna first prime the system, make sure there's no leaks. Wanna do the honors?
All right, prime. Any leaks?
See nothing over here.
It's pumping. All right. Here goes. Crank.
Oh, wait, stop! No, oil! Oh man, nearly avoided catastrophe. So we all got really excited and nearly fired it up without,
Lubrication.
yeah, and we all know how that happens. Cut the call out kings with Brad.
A slight ticky sound at the bottom end that didn't normally came with the motor.
No, it says no oil again.
Now we're gonna prime it. Make sure we got good oil pressure before firing this thing, since it's just kind of been sitting.
Any leaks?
I don't see nothing up top.
It's clear underneath. Cool.
Cool, plug it in.
Plug it in.
All right, let's get it. Hell yeah, bro. Damn, boys. Yeah. Well, there we have it. We know it'll fire. Now we just gotta, well, we gotta plumb a bunch of shit, finish up some wiring, drive shaft, rear suspension, a bunch of other stuff, but it runs. So boys, thank you very much for all your help. That's a wrap! Before all you keyboard warriors start getting hot to let me know that it wasn't chopping hard enough, just know that was idling at 1500 RPM.